when I had my disability, the people didn't understand. Sometimes they think you're a ghost. You're not a human being. Disability is not it's not change the human being. You're still a human being. And that's why I play my music for the disabled or not disabled, make them forget the problem and smile with me. Because that's all we can enjoy life.
Welcome everyone to Family Comes First. I'm Vincent J. Russo.
And I'm Victoria Roberts-Drogin. Thank you for joining us. Today we will be sharing the story of a most spiritual and amazing human being. Like his smile, his love of life is truly contagious.
Sidiki Conde was born in West Africa, and his journey not only spans America but the world. He's an accomplished dancer, singer, musician, and songwriter. He's very proud of his African dance troupe, Tukanu. And Sidiki has been paralyzed since childhood.
Before we meet Sidiki, Vincent, I have to ask you about your tie. I know most of your ties have stories that go with them, and I'm wondering if this one does. It's a great tie.
This is one of my favorite ties from Ghana.
Okay.
And this tie was a gift to me from Father Marcellus, who works in Africa. And he came to the Teresa Foundation and shared his story that in the village in Ghana, they had lost the top of the roof to the school. And now the school had to close. And so we were one of the supporters who helped put a roof back on the school, and also to provide monies for the children with disabilities to be able to get to the school.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a great story and a great tie.
Thank you.
Now we are going to meet with two professionals who will share with us the challenges and successes of performing artists with disabilities. Please join me in welcoming Christine Bruno, a disability advocate for Alliance for Inclusion in the Arts, and Vincent's better half.
Better half.
Other better half. Susan Russo, the director of the Teresa Academy of Performing Arts, TAPA. Welcome.
Thank you both for being here with us today.
Welcome. Christine, what is the Alliance? Tell us about your organization.
Alliance for Inclusion in the Arts is a national nonprofit organization that was established in 1986.
Okay.
Originally it was established to address and seek the solutions to the problems of racism in film, television, and theater, and to the exclusion of those artists being part of the entertainment industry, and very shortly after expanded the conversation to include artists with disabilities.
Interesting. So it was a progression.
Yes, it wasn't that much of a progression. The current executive director, Sharon Jensen, became the executive director 3 years after the organization started in 1989. And she brought with it disability as part of the diversity picture to the table. She, although she does not have a disability herself, was very involved with disability and felt that that was an important part of the conversation that needed to be added.
Wonderful. What are the goals of the Alliance?
Several goals, actually. The first goal, obviously, is to advocate for artists of color and artists with disabilities in whatever that means, whether it be establishing awareness that these people are still underrepresented in the industry, particularly artists with disabilities.
Sure.
Also, bringing decision makers to the table and making them aware that, particularly with respect to artists with disabilities, that artists with disabilities are out there, they're professional, they're trained, and they have a wealth and a breadth of experience. The lived experience of disability is an important part of the diversity picture and should be accurately and authentically represented on our screens and stages.
Are we making progress?
Yes, we are making progress.
Good.
Although we still have a very long way to go.
Really?
Yes.
That's unfortunate. But I'm glad to hear we're making progress.
And it's an important conversation. And you wouldn't necessarily be aware of it unless someone brought it out there and had the dialogue.
Well, just to give you an interesting perspective on it, 20% of We Are America's largest minority. You wouldn't know it from my sitting here, but I have cerebral palsy, and I'm a professional actor and director, which is why I say we. We are America's largest minority. 20% of our population in this country identifies as having some sort of disability. Couple that with the fact that only 1% of what we see on representation on television are characters with disabilities.
Right.
So that, you see,
Played by actors with disabilities
Yes.
as well. So, well, thank you.
thank you.
Susan, congratulations on the Teresa Academy. It's an incredible program. Would you tell us a little bit about it, where you're located, the students, the programs?
We're going into our third year. We're located on the south shore of Long Island in Lido Beach. It's a beautiful facility. It's very clean, very safe. Our parents love the fact that we have parking.
Yes.
So when you're loading and unloading children who may be escape artists, it's nice to know that they can do it safely. We run an after-school program during the week, Saturday respite program, summer camp, which has been fabulous. And Sidiki has been our guest artist at our summer camp 2 years in a row now.
Awesome.
And yeah, which is amazing. He just is amazing with the children. And also seasonal Sunday afternoon workshops, which are theme-oriented and a lot of fun for the kids.
So the youngest student to the oldest student, age-wise?
Youngest are 5. Well, actually, this year we have 3-year-olds in our program.
Oh.
We have some 3-year-olds. I'm very excited about that. And the oldest are in their 40s and 50s.
Artists.
Artists, painters, yes, amazing, amazing people.
Is
a lot of
there
fun.
room for more
We
children
do.
and
We have
adults?
space for more children, more students in all of the programs. We have amazing faculty. They're all state certified in their genre, which you don't find in many places like this.
Sure. Well, I have to say, having been to your facility, it is a remarkable place. The children and the faculty, it's incredible.
The energy is wonderful.
It is. The energy, and the parents are so overjoyed and grateful to have a place that supports their children. Are there other places? You seem unique, and I know your focus is unique.
We are unique in the fact that we're offering music, art, dance, drama, all under one roof. There are many places where you can take an art class or a dance class or perhaps a music class, but we're trying to make it one-stop shopping for the parents, just one central location.
It's an academy.
And we're serving an underserved population.
Yeah.
The kids that don't have that after-school club, experience that a typically developing child has the ability to do that at school.
But they can come to you.
But they can come to us.
Christine, you're an actor and a director. Why is it so difficult for artists with disabilities to get roles? Is it the viewers? Is it the institution? Why?
Well, that's an interesting and very complicated, complex question.
We always ask the tough
I'll try to be as concise as possible. It's tough. I would think mainly it's tough because of the myths and assumptions that people carry with them that are so deep-seated about people with disabilities in general. And Susan can probably attest to that as well, that one of the reasons why schools like Susan's are so important and the work that Sidiki is doing is so important is because it really does shatter those myths and assumptions that people with disabilities are less than, that they need to be taken care of, that they don't have joys and interests of their own. And so that is, I think, a central part of it in terms of the entertainment industry, is just that they're unaware that people with disabilities are even out there.
Yeah.
And as part of, the talented pool of artists. I think as an artist myself, and also as an advocate, the audiences are much more savvy and sophisticated than we give them credit for.
So what needs to change in order to make this more equitable?
I think that people, particularly employers in the industry, need to see this as a civil rights issue. much
Absolutely.
as
Yes.
artists of color and people of color, because until they see it for what it is, they're not going to understand the need for the change.
Right. That's a very
Just
good point.
real quick, because we're running out of time, share with us the hurdles that these artists are facing.
Okay. Very quickly, I can sort of sum that up in 3 words: accuracy, access, and inclusion.
Okay.
This year, I'm the co-chair of a 3-year global civil rights campaign that was created by the 3 entertainment unions, Actors Equity, AFTRA, and SAG, that was specifically designed to promote awareness and increase employment opportunities for performers and broadcasters with disabilities.
Great.
That's wonderful.
Well, I want to thank both of you for all that you're doing, first of all, and for being with us today.
Both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We visited with Sidiki at the Therese Academy of Performing Arts, where he was teaching a master class in drumming. Let's take a look.
My name is Sidiki Conde, and my full name is Abubakar Sidiki Conde. I'm born to Kankan. It's West Africa. The town's called Guinea-Conakry. And then when I first time we come from the school to go home, it was like at 2 o'clock. We was a little hungry to get home fast. And my friend come back, get up my school bag, and run behind me, in front of me. So I went behind them, go get my school bag. So I fall down. And my stomach fall down. And when I fall down, I cannot move any of my body. Yeah. I was just go, hey, even my breathing was so hard for me. So my friend got scared, want to go call my parents. My mother said, Sidiki's fall. And they come pick up me. And they decided to take me to the hospital. Yeah, they took me a lot, give me some medicine, some shot. And then I stayed in coma like 3 months. Yes. Yeah. And after that, I got my dream. After that coma, I got my dream. And in this dream, I tell my mother, I got a dream. And the dream said, why I'm sad? Why? And I tell them, I say, look at me, what I am. I can't be survived this way. And the dream tell me, you don't make it yourself. You must follow your heart. You must follow your heart. Till I wake up. And when I tell them my mother, he take me to different sickness in hospital, show me different people, how they survive in hospital. So after that, I tell my mother, take me home. I'll be okay. Take me home. All shit was hospital because when I had my disability, the people didn't understand. Some people gotta die, but the family don't understand. Sometimes they think you're a ghost. You're not a human being. And they give you about the trees, some give you about the water, and some give you some medicine to make you pass. You know? So I think this botus was coming about that to show them disability is not come from, it's not change the human being. You're still a human being. Yeah. Yeah, because before the ship coming in Guinea, it was a lot of problem. Yes. It was a lot of problem. And thank my mother so much. She was so my hero. She never let me go. And she showed me everybody, took me so good, take me to the village, and do everything to make my mind, you are Sidiki. You're not disabled. You're not handicapped, you're Sidiki. Just put that in your mind. The time I take that in my mind, yes, I try to retrieve myself. That's what they find. They find me for a big festival, international, in West Africa, in Africa, Côte d'Ivoire. That was so festival for all the small ballet to come present itself in a West African show business. So that's how they see me for the performance. So wow, this is the first time we see somebody move his two hands like this. So that's how they invent the ballet to come here in the United States.
I met Sidiki soon after he came to America. I had been approached by people because I used to get the Africans medical care, the dancers, because I was a dancer, and they were always having injuries, and so they told me about this guy in a wheelchair. And one day I was in the subway, and I saw two Africans, one pushing another in a wheelchair, and I said, "Those are I work in Africa a lot," so I say, that's an African in a wheelchair there. So I called out his name, and he answered me. He said, "Yes," and he didn't speak any English, so I kind of sign languaged him, and that's how I met Sidiki. And in the process of getting him to the doctor again and again, and doing all the stuff, we got to know each other. So I said, you gotta do for yourself. And he formed his own company, Tukanu, and started writing music.
For me, it was hard to be disabled to make a fun, enjoy the life. So that's what my message of nobody can represent your face. You must represent this face. And by what? By smiling. Whatever you are, you must be smiling, because nobody can smile for you. Nobody can cry for you. You must cry yourself, you must smile yourself. So that moment, you have to look in for smiling. And that's why I play my music for the disabled or not disabled, make them forget the problem and smile with me. Because that's all we can enjoy life, is smiling. That's all.
Today we are talking about Artsability and the many opportunities for people with disabilities to express themselves through the arts.
Sidiki has dedicated himself to young children in his home country of Guinea, West Africa, as well as all over the world, find a way to express themselves.
Joining us now in the studio are Sidiki Conde and his wife Deborah. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
for
welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting us. I'm happy to be here.
The pleasure is ours.
You come to New York, and from a village in Africa. So what was that like when you first came into New York, and what were you thinking?
It was wow. That was so big for me, because home I don't see the world too much. My mind first of the world was so small.
Right.
But when I come here, it was so big, I was panicked. I can't stay here.
Oh.
Yeah, this is not a place
scary.
for me.
But you're still here many years later.
Yeah. Yeah, thank God, because my first show, some woman was seeing me in the state playing. He was having his son disabled. So he left his son home to come see our show. After show, he begged my boss, say, "Wait for me, I want to take my son to come see this guy."
He brought his son back to see you.
He brought me back his son to come see me. How would I do? So my boss said, "Okay, we have to repeat the show for him." I repeated the show for him. The guy was so happy. So I was seeing the guy lay down on the chair and happy with me, and I can't stand up with my hand. I said, I can't stay here too. So I started changing my mind.
But one of the things that really touched us as we watched the segment was you spoke about your mom, and she's your hero. And she gave you a message that shaped your life.
Thank you so much. I tell you, my mother is my hero. And I thank God, my last conversation with her, I said, "My mother, you my God. I love you forever." She cried. Because my mother teach me to be Miss Sidiki. And my mother teach me to think what I want to do and when I want to for.
So she told you to think about where you wanted to go, and so you could go.
I can go.
I have a joyous question to ask you because you're a master teacher. Master teacher at the Teresa Academy of Performing Arts, working with these children with special needs. How does that make you feel?
It me feel me comfortable. It make me feel so happy because when I see this kid, they just look me in my eyes and my heart. They understand what I want to go for, and we communicate is just the feeling and the looking and talking. It make me confidence to get a message from them, and my message I just go to from them. So that's make me so
the connection.
The connection that's make me so wonderful, great.
Two-way street.
Yeah, and for them too. For them to see someone who accomplished what you have gives them hope.
And that's great.
Yeah. All right, now I have a question for Deborah. Deborah, what makes Sidiki special? Because he's a gem.
He's special, all right.
Inspiring.
The thing that I felt when I first met Sidiki that intrigued me, because I could feel it right off, there was no darkness in him. He truly, truly cared about people and how to make the world a better place. And if he has a conflict, he never has grudges. He never thinks darkly. He only thinks about how can I help pull this person out of the darkness.
You talked about his soul.
He has beautiful soul that just reaches into others. You know, I've seen him in dozens of situations where I'd say, write that person off. And he, says, no. Only by me giving them hope will be able to bring them back to the world again.
So a model for all of us, not just children or people with disabilities. It's a way to live.
Sidiki, tell us about your dream for the future.
Thank God to ask me that question. My dream about now, my life, I just want to build a school.
Beautiful. A school in Africa.
School in Africa. I just started. I have a links now. So I want to build this school to help my friend disabled, survive, and the kid. The kid can come there to learning how make the fabric, how used to your mind to be survived, how do the music, how build the community, because you can't go beg in the street every time and come feed your kid, and they're not at school, they're behind you every time. They lost the life by you. It's only you disabled. Your kid's not disabled. So that way, I can, if I have this place, I can tell them to come work with me and put the kid there to build hope.
So the parents and the children to teach them how to think, how to survive with their disabilities.
Yeah, because home, if a disability, you cannot do anything, you have to beg.
Right.
Okay.
And you want to eliminate that.
I want to eliminate that.
Eliminate that.
That's my dream.
That's a
when we are together, it will happen because everybody can do something by your life.
It's
Wonderful.
a beautiful dream.
Sidiki, we have a little gift for you. And the gift comes from the Teresa Foundation. Someone donated to the Teresa Foundation a power wheelchair. And we are going to give you that power wheelchair, which I know you will use.
Thank God.
And how will you use that wheelchair?
Thank you so much. I'm here, but I think of myself a messenger from disabled in Guinea.
So you're going to help someone else with that?
Yes, I'm going to take
You are incredible.
If God take me to Africa,
you're beautiful.
You're going to see that movie, the person I'm going to give to him to take him to the ground. He'll be happy to laugh because it's hard. To have the chair, it's hard to get out of the ground, and the ground is so dusty. So that's why when I get a wheelchair here, if I got time to go home, I take it there to go give somebody, take him ground a little bit.
Well, you have inspired all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Deborah,
you
for being on
both.
our
Thank
show
you.
today.
Thank you
Family
so
comes
much.
first.
And now we turn to Monsignor McNamara for a spiritual reflection.
For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. In this last of the current series, Family Comes First, Sidiki knows more than most of us that life can be burdensome. He has a wonderful spirit and a joy that should keep me from ever feeling sorry for myself. He has a dream in which he is told to follow his heart. He reminds me of St. Francis of Assisi in this regard. Not only does he leave the hospital, he leaves his country in West Africa and comes to the United States. He discovers that he is not a disability. He is a human being. He is Sidiki. Good for him. He also reminds me of St. Francis of Assisi as he dances with his hands and then composes and plays beautiful music. Like Francis, he is a troubadour of God. I wouldn't be surprised if the birds came and listened to him play.
For those with disabilities who wish to pursue a career in the arts, the Alliance for Inclusion in the Arts can be a great resource. And for children with special needs, the Teresa Academy of Performing Arts. For a list of resources, please visit my law firm website at vjrussolaw.com.
Vincent, it's been wonderful to share Sidiki's story today. Clearly, a disability is not a barrier to being an artist.
Sidiki is certainly an inspirational teacher. You can support Sidiki and his dance troupe Tukanu by making donations to the Teresa Foundation designating Sidiki.
We're very fortunate to have him in our world to remind us how life is truly joyful and blessed.
Thanks to all our viewers for joining us, and remember, family truly does come first.